So, tell me about Great Lakes Peace Jam.
Where did you hear of such a thing?
Never mind where I heard it. I need to know now.
All right, I'll tell you. It all started a long, long time ago. In a place I like to call Kalamazoo.
Okay, so here we are, Greater Kalamazoo United Way. It's got to be in here.
Oh, Kevin, hi, how you doing? And I was the one that wrote the first grants to get Peace Jam started in this area. I got a phone call one day, and the folks at the Kalamazoo Community Foundation had been talking with people from Kellogg Foundation and the Fetzer Institute about this great program that has kids involved in learning about what it is to be a peacemaker and learning from people that really knew what they were talking about. And so I went down to the Community Foundation, talked to the folks there, talked to this woman named Dawn. She was great. We met at the Fetzer Institute, and she got me really excited about Peace Jam. Well, at long story short, we ended up taking some kids from Youth United Way to Kansas City, met Mairead McGuire. Their peace project was to start Peace Jam in our area. They, some of those kids are still working with Peace Jam as mentors, as club advisors, and they're all still impacted by that first weekend. Well, it ended up that the United Way was the host for Great Lakes Peace Jam for the first several years.
Hi there. My name is Jen Stroven. Jen Stroven. The namesake of the Weaver Struven, the latest dance craze sweeping the Peace Jam Foundation nation. So, Mary Lou calls me up, and I say, sure. I will run your cute little program. Just let me change out of my Wonder Woman costume first.
Had consistently very highly rated events over the course of how many years, 8 years of doing conferences, that they've always been highly rated, the students really enjoy them, the advisors love them, and the Nobel laureates always talk about how great the events are. So I think that's Task Force is the heart and soul of Great Lakes Peace Jam. The task force was created in, I want to say 2004, to help assist conference planning, and that was really the purpose of it. We had a small staff, and there weren't enough people to really do all the things necessary to get ready for the conference and run the conference. So this volunteer task force was created to help with conference planning. But it was such a good group and such a core group of people helping Peace Jam that it became this permanent body. The great thing about task force is it's like your family and your close friends, and you see them once or twice a month for these meetings, but then you just find yourself seeing them elsewhere in different community events and hanging out.
I am Carolyn DeShantz, and I'm in a AmeriCorps Vista with Great Lakes Peace Jam, and I have been for the last 2 years.
Oh, hi there. I'm Jeanette.
My name is Zachary Wood. Now, I guess I started Peace Jam back in high school. Continued to work with Peace Jam as a mentor, which was really awesome. And then I joined the Volunteer Task Force, which is this standing body of volunteers, and got a job as an AmeriCorps Vista, where I worked for a year, dance videos.
Somehow inadvertently become the star and co-singer of a Dantry music video. And I was like, holy crap, this is on the internet. Everyone can see this. Do I regret this?
Really developed a college program that was the first in many affiliates. A group of college mentors didn't think that their Peace Jam time was over with just 2 conferences a year, so we formed a college student group, and we did lots of service projects, and that student group is still going today, and kind of began the Peace Jam college program for all other Peace Jam.
The way the college students get up on a Saturday morning and whoop and holler and go crazy to get students revved up and excited about being there, and ride that pony at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know.
Every year, without fail, we have this amazing, passionate, energetic, fun, exciting group of mentors. I think something that really well describes that is when we went to Denver for the International Youth Conference. We had a ton of showing from the Great Lakes mentors, and they were all really exciting and energetic. And we had this really great Great Lakes shouting phrase that, every time we said Great Lakes, everybody knew who we were. It was a lot of fun. So the Great Lakes mentors really they show up every single conference and make it a really unique, amazing experience.
As time went by, the United Way was a good place to start, but not where they were going to end up being. And the people that were running the affiliate, Jen and Todd and Corey and some of the others, moved over to Harrison Street. They all moved out of the United Way, but somehow not everything got moved. We still love Peace Jam around here. It's a
second achievement, I think, would have to be just the forming of Seeding Change, the nonprofit, in order to house Great Lakes Peace Jam. That was a moment of courage on a lot of people's behalf, not knowing where it was going to go, how we're going to get funding, how we're going to find a place to be, what would happen, would we last, and just the whole legal process and going through the whole thing. Was very courageous, I thought. So,
my transition from a weaver into a Strovan was a journey fraught with drama. But that's a story for another time. I did, however, decide to have a child. And woo! Did that ever tire me out. So we decided to split the executive director position in 2 so that I could spend more time with my little robot, Mia.
I think the creation of the co-executive director position as a job share was a highlight because it showed how progressive this organization is, how family-friendly the organization is, and how much it really believes in the social justice issues that we work with Peace Jam.
My first year in May of 2010, we had an additional kind of youth conference event right after our normal Great Lakes Youth Conference with Betty Williams, and it was with the Dalai Lama. And so it was a partnership with an organization down there and with the Dalai Lama's organizations in Indianapolis. And so we took a lot of about 40 or 50 of our Peace Jam high schoolers down to Indianapolis, and they got to see the Dalai Lama speak, and I was able to see him speak, which was amazing. And then we had a little bit of a mini conference afterwards, sort of debriefing. And so we trained some mentors like we normally would. And we had a really long bus ride.
When Peace Jam started looking at developing a LGBT module for an addendum for the curriculum, and I thought that was a very exciting project to take on, and the fact that they included Great Lakes Peace Jam on the writing of that was very exciting.
We, this past year, launched a pilot of the LGBT Action module. So we created a sort of mini module or first draft of a curriculum that focuses on the experiences and issues of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning community. And we had 6 clubs be trained on it, and we had 4 clubs eventually implement the program. We got a lot of really good positive feedback about how it went, and we had some really great LGBTQ themed service projects. We also hosted a rally for Barack Obama when he came and visited Kalamazoo to do the commencement address at Kalamazoo Central High School. So that required a lot of teamwork with other community organizations to really have a rally celebrating President Obama and his accomplishments, but also asking him to continue to work for peace as a Nobel Peace Laureate himself. And we were sort of camped out on a hillside across the street from campus, and so we were able to see all of the helicopters as they came down, and we saw President Obama land on a field about a half mile away, quarter of a mile. So yeah, at some point, hopefully he saw us from the air and he thought, oh gosh, there's some people who care about peace.
What is the most bizarre thing that's ever happened
Bizarre.
at Great Lakes Peach Jam?
Anytime that Yvonne comes, would have to be a very odd time. I believe one time he gave the mentors a tour of the house across from the Bernhard Center where the Nobel laureate was staying without checking in with the Nobel laureate. So he invited like 5 or 6 of us over, and the Nobel laureate at the time was Mairead Corrigan McGuire, and she came downstairs in her nightgown and was surprised to see a bunch of us there. So that was pretty bizarre. I can now say that I've seen Nobel laureate in her pajamas. Wasn't creepy because I was invited, just not by her.
We all had a session with Betty among all the volunteers, and she had taken this photo of this moment that I think the rest of us had all not noticed, but it's Betty, and she's looking over at Jen's young daughter, Mia, who's probably about 2 at the time, and she's going, and it's just the Nobel laureate making this face at this 2-year-old child. That's pretty funny.
Well, there was the day that I was chasing after a mugger. He was on a bicycle and I was on my feet. That was pretty bizarre. We were interviewing candidates for a program coordinator. One of our candidates was waiting downstairs in the lobby, and a kid came in with a gun and stole her purse. And when she yelled up that she'd been mugged, I... Stop! In the name of Peace Jam! Wasn't thinking, obviously, and I chased after him. He was on his bicycle and I was running after him. And I was trying to tell him that we wouldn't call the police if he would just throw the purse down. So in hindsight, probably wasn't very smart.
Wait, did you catch up to this person?
No. I was a teenager on a bike and I was an old man and I'm on my feet. I didn't have a chance.
Let me just leave you with this. Great Lakes A-Team pretty much sums it up.
My second favorite part of Great Lakes history would be... Straight face hard to keep.